our special guest, Dr. Samiksha Kaul, ma'am. So she completed her B Pharmacy in North Maharashtra University in 2002 and M Pharmacy from Bharatullah University in 2006. And she has awarded her PhD in Pharmacogeny and Phytochemistry from Uttarakhand Technical University in the year 2004. She has worked in various reputed institutions and held many responsible roles in taking the institutions to reach heights. Ma'am has totally 14 years of academic experience, 2 years of industrial experience. She has worked in various reputed institutes and held many responsible roles. And she has represented more than 40 papers. She has published more than 20 papers in national and international journals, and she has presented more than 40 papers in scientific conferences. She has a book entitled A Comprehensive Treatise on Terpenes, a Perspective, and she is also a reviewer in many journals. So with these few words, I want to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Samiksha Kaul. So I'm forwarding to HOD sir to speak about our special guest. Yes, sir.
A very good afternoon and warm welcome to our respected and Pro-Vice Chancellor and Dean sir. And today's chief guest, Dr. Samiksha Kaul ma'am, my dear faculty members and my students. So to this ongoing webinar series, which is conducted by MLT department. So in view of bringing out together bright minds on wide range of subjects by sharing and giving. So I would like to welcome our for a great portfolio of members. So she of the eminent of our SS department, proud to have guest on personal hygiene and precautions, so which is given by me. So we are very fortunate enough to have.
Sir, you're not audible, sir.
Maybe Sara has some network issue. Please. So over to ma'am. Ma'am, you can carry on. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. It's my privilege to address all of you today. And a very good noon to respected BBC sir and team and my dear colleagues from MLT department. So do I have the rights to share my screen? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Now you can share, ma'am. Yes.
So starting with one basic thing, let us start with the.
Ma'am, voice is a little bit slow, ma'am. Maybe.
So should I be? I mean, is it audible now?
Yeah, it's okay. Yes, ma'am. Now it is okay.
Yeah. Before I start, personal hygiene is something we all know and have been taught about since our childhood, and it starts from the very basic, from your family, from your school. But as the prevailing times are there, and we are looking into the fact that not only our Asian subcontinent, but all over the world, we are facing this crisis of pandemic, and we have just came out with certain things that the basic idea of dealing with this pandemic is nothing but it just boils down to one idea that one should maintain the personal hygiene. And ironically, see, we have been doing it since our birth, but have importantly washing our hands, putting on the mask and using the sanitizer, and all that has become so important. Let us move ahead and start what it relevance and how and why it is important, how it contributes to the civic sense, how it is important for nation building and our youth, and how it becomes an integral part of our person. Starting with the basic thing, we all know what is health, isn't it? But we have certain organizations all over the world, and I'm sure about that. You all know what is World Health Organization, and it states that it is a state of a complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of a disease. So, not only that, when a person is in a disease state or something, or that you are able to, be healthy, but then you need to a complete state of a physical, mental, and the social well-being. A human being is a social animal. He needs to be accepted by the society, and we always look forward to the relations around us. So that goes by the definition of WHO. Is my screen visible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, but your voice is too low, ma'am, actually.
I will pause it for a second and just get back. Let me
Sure.
check what the issue is.
Sure, ma'am.
Sister, am I audible now? Sister, can you please tell me if I'm audible now?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes, is it, the voice is clear now?
but still low, ma'am, actually.
Okay, just hold on for a second. Let me check what has gone
Yes.
wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me a couple of minutes more. Unfortunately, sister,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
can you please unmute from my another device or another device? Then?
Okay.
You just need to unmute me.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what is the name, ma'am?
You will have the ID from the two IDs, same the Samiksha one.
Okay, but I can able to say only one ID, ma'am, here. Hmm. Oh, got it, ma'am. I unmuted you. I got it.
Am I audible
Yes, ma'am. It
now?
is. Yes, very nice,
Clear.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now we
Perfect.
can continue.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, you can continue.
discussing about the word health, and which was rightly described by WHO that it is a complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Now, this has a very deep meaning. That means not only if disease is not there, we can consider ourselves healthy. That is not a true statement. We have to be in a harmonized state of the physical, mental, and the social well-being. Now, let us say, from where did the word hygiene arise? So, according to the Greek mythology, we have this Greek goddess of health called as Hygiea, and according to their mythology, we have that she was in charge of the cleanliness and to show people how to live a long life, and not only a long life, but to live how to live a healthy life. So the word hygiene is being derived from the Greek word hygieus, which means healthy. So now that is why we are using these words. Hygiene basically is derived from this Greek word. Now, what do we mean by the personal hygiene? The topic we are discussing today, what do we mean by the personal hygiene? So when I'm talking about the personal hygiene, so basically it is maintaining the cleanliness and grooming of the external body. Now, we must be wondering that just grooming about the external body, because when we define health, we define as the mental state also, as the social well-being also. But this external grooming and cleanliness leads to the or impacts the other factors of your life. So, good personal hygiene involves the parts of your body for the external cleaning, and it should be healthy, and also for maintaining both physical and mental health. Okay, after that, there are people who are not able to. I will not say there are people who remain unhygienic, but I will say there are people who have poor personal hygiene, or due to certain circumstances, I mean, maybe financial or social or whatever, they maintain a very poor personal hygiene. So the body provides an ideal environment for germs to grow. We all know that, and I'm sure that during these 3 months or 4 months, we have been dealing this pandemic, and we know now that the environment in which we are learning basically depends on the totally upon your immunity and ability of your immune system of our body, so they can contract the germ. So in that case, people who are unhygienic or have a very poor personal hygiene are vulnerable to infections, because they have this environment which is ideal for the growth of your germs. Then what happens on the social level? You may provide a person with all the good things, and he is not able to maintain the personal hygiene. So what will happen? Gradually in society, it is a human nature or a psyche that we tend to withdraw from that person. So gradually what will happen? The person may feel isolated, and he may feel lonely. So now not only the external body is being considered in personal hygiene, but once a person is being avoided or isolated, it will have a mental impact also. And also there is definitely a social responsibility which he is not taking care of, and is being withdrawn from the society. Another thing is that the human body can provide places for diseases and parasites to grow and multiply. And one of the largest skins the human body has, the largest organ, a human body has is skin. So we have so many openings around and in the body and in the skin. So it is very likely that these germs and parasites, they can just get into the body. And if people do not maintain habits or do not maintain a very good personal hygiene, then they are likely to contract some infections. Also, in a day-to-day life, you can come in contact with so many people outside the world. And nowadays, this becomes a little ironical also, little humorous also. I will take in care my case also. When I go out somewhere, just to buy something, or I come back, I wash my hands, I take a bath, just to ensure that I'm not carrying any germs or viruses to the home I'm living in. But then this is a practice that
we have adopted just in the pandemic. Were we aware of this in the earlier periods also? Yes, we were aware of it, but it is just a matter of practicing. So these germs and viruses, they can linger onto your body, and in certain cases, they may make you sick also. So apart from this health issues that one may face if one has a poor personal hygiene, it affects your appearance also. It affects your well-being also. Let's move forward and see what are the benefits of good hygiene. So according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, addressing the spread of germs is important. Why? Because it is not only essential to maintain your health, but the health of our youth, nation, and people of the globe, the entire world. So good hygiene prevents the spread of the germs. It also gives a good first impression to others. And that in turn will do what? That in turn will increase your acceptance in the society, your well-being. Psychologically, you will be more happy because you'll be interacting with so many people. Then we'll come to what is personal hygiene. What are the aspects of the personal hygiene that need to be taken care of to maintain this? So very basic things that you have been doing from your childhood and the very regular routine or the routine practices, like the parts of the body that which are exposed to the external environment, like hair, your face and skin, your teeth, your ears, hands, nails, and feet. The food that you eat from outside world and your clothes that you're wearing. And apart from that, a very good sleep. So how sleep is associated with personal hygiene, we will look into that in a while. So first, let us start with the hair part. Now, you all know that hair is made up of a dead tissue, or a protein rather, I should say keratin. And so what are the other aspects the hair have? So we have these spacious glands beneath the skin, which, just to make the surface moist, it keeps on bringing out the oil on the surface. So that there is no drying of the scalp. So hair helps to warm the body and trapping a layer of air next to the scalp. And I'm not talking about only the body of the head, hair of the head, but other parts also. So what are the hair care tips we can follow? Of course, there are certain guidelines laid down by CDC and other organizations also. But as of now, and you know that there are a variety of the shampoos that are available in the market, and also, one should be washing your hair regularly, rinse thoroughly with clear water, and after shampooing, all the soap must be removed. Because even if case the little of soap is being left there, what will happen is that will start building up in your hair. And after the build up, what will happen? You will start, there may be certain problems like graying of the hair, or falling of the hair and other issues. So we do not need to scrub hard or just and letting the soap in. So we need to see certain things like we need to shampoo hair regularly as and when required by you. Two, we need not to scrub or we should not be tough with the root tips. And then whatever product you are using, you need not to irritate the scalp or damage your hair. So first thing is that we are going to take care of the hair and we should wash them often or as and when required. Then the scalp should be massaged well. What will happen? You know that in every 6 months, your whole body is, removing the dead tissue and it is, regenerating the new tissue. Case, if you massage your scalp, it will remove the dead skin, the excess oil and dirt, if any is there. You should brush your hair daily, rather, twice a day. That would be good. And wash combs and brushes frequently, because you see, even these things which you are using, the comb you're using or the brushes you're using for your hair, if you keep it as such, because the buildup from your hair on the scalp will get transferred to that comb or brush. So in that case, you need to keep that clean also. And then also, sharing is a big no-no. Though we always say that sharing is caring and we have slogans like that, but for this, we should never ever, even if you are among the family members, see, hygiene of a person and body of a person is different from the other persons in the family. So we should avoid sharing combs, brushes, and also not only this, I will say the soaps with which you are taking the bath or the towels that you are using should not be shared. Then we need to know why we need to brush the hair. So first of all, brushes clean the scalp by loosening and removing the dead tissue. Two, it adds the shine to your hair, and also it helps in untangling of the hair. So because if your hair are tangled, what will happen is it will start falling out. The hair will start coming out. So in that case, you need brushing, a very good brushing to loosen and remove the dust and dirt cells. Now, what are the problems if we don't maintain this hygiene? What are the problems one can face? The problems that I have shared here are the very basic common problems like dandruff, head lice, splitting and breaking. Apart from that, and nowadays, even the younger generation is facing all these problems, though we have a plethora of such products in the market, rather I should say cosmetics in the market, that just can have an impact on your persona and they can make you feel good. But still, we are, facing these issues. Reason being, the very basics of personal hygiene should. When I'm thinking about the dandruff is nothing new. All of us must have faced this one or the another time in our lifetime. So a condition where usually the scalp gets dry and it starts coming out. So how can dandruff be treated? Very simple. We do have shampoos in the market that can help you get this dandruff off of your scalp. But then there are certain medicated shampoos also that can help. And then the oiling can help. Applying certain home remedies that also helps to elevate this problem. Or else, in severe conditions, we must visit a medical practitioner. Now we are talking about the head lice. Head lice is nothing. It is a parasite that live on the hair shaft actually, and they cause itching. So they cannot fly, but they have this capability of jumping from one person to another person. And it is needless to tell you that we are very much aware. We have products in the market. We have shampoo, soaps in the market that can just get rid of these head lice. But ironically, see, a very basic thing is that you can get hold of a parasite even if you are not maintaining the hygiene of your hair, isn't it? So now we should avoid, avoiding and treating head lice. How that can be done? So we have certain basic parameters laid down. One, we should not share our combs, brushes, hats, parrots, and other hair things, or headphones even. And nowadays we are using headphones more often because everything has gone online. Okay, and then we should use special shampoos that can wash your hair immediately. Also, the linen or the clothing or whatever linen you are using, that should not come in contact with any other. Now, how is splitting and breaking be looked into? So this 2 months, the layered cells of your hair to split apart and even break up. And not only that, nowadays we are exposed to so much of pollution and the chemicals and all that, and they combine together and they just contribute to this splitting and breaking. So we need to see that we need to have a cushioning of the hair. Two, we need to have a very proper diet, and then we should avoid using chemicals or the winds or the permanent hair dye that can weaken the hair in the same way. But ironically, this is my personal observation. Young boys and girls nowadays, there is so much of trend of coloring the hair. Of course, you people are young and you can experiment with your life, but these things have a long implication on your health, and not only about the health of your hair, but your other parts also get affected. You may be exposed to certain variety of chemicals that in the long run can damage a lot of tissues in your body. I don't say that don't just use these things, but we should limit our use to certain chemicals which are not good for our health. Then coming down to skin, we know skin is one of the largest organs, and then functions of skin. You all know that this is not something that is new, but it is for the protection, vitamin D formation, temperature control, the sensations you have, the touch you feel, water resistance, excretion, absorption, and control of evaporation. So when I'm talking about excretion or absorption, why I'm accentuating about the excretion? Because this is the main part from where we can get our acne and certain type of the bacteria that grow on the skin surface, isn't it? And for that, we need to look into the layers of the skin. Now, since we all are from the biology background, and we know that skin has mainly 3 layers. One is the epidermis, the outermost layer, dermis, the layer following the epidermis, and then we have the fatty cells called the subcutaneous. And now you know that you have sebaceous gland and sweat gland. Don't confuse both of them. They are different glands. They definitely have 2 different functions. So they keep on secreting the waste of the skin moist. And when I'm talking about sweat glands, so sweat carries certain type of the excrete. So a few amount of these are. So now after having a look into this, now see we have hair shaft in this layer one, which is taking care of the nerve endings, the blood vessels, and the hair follicles, and the major issues for the industry of this deodorants and perfumes is working upon, and they are selling you this different products is nothing but the bad odor and the acne. And not only puberty time, but at acne due to something which has various reasons, but not maintaining the personal hygiene can contribute a lot to this acne. Let us see how. So body odor is nothing but it's the perspiration. And what happens is basically when the human body starts sweating, usually the sweat has no odor. But what happens is upon standing, there is a growth of the bacteria, and gradually what will happen is it will start accumulating, and then we will have a body odor. But body odor, it depends upon the personal hygiene, and we are not consuming such foods like I tell you. Those who consume onions and garlic, and even the people who tend to consume a lot of alcohol have a very bad odor from their body. So this all can be maintained with the help of a proper personal hygiene. And coming down to the acne, I'm sure all of you must have had acne at some or the other time, and we all deal with it. Not only that, we use the home remedies, but we use so many products. But tell me one thing: what do you need to take care of when someone has acne? Nothing but you should wash your face often and not use the oily substances, isn't it? So acne is a skin condition that occurs when your hair follicles become black with oil and dead skin cells. So basically this is you all know we have those small pores on the surface of the skin, and these pores when get blocked will have what? It often causes whiteheads or blackheads or pimples. And then what can make these things worse? Not only the personal hygiene, but use of certain products. See, you must be wondering why am I accentuating about these cosmetics. I'm not in for so many cosmetics nowadays, because I will not say, even if the herbal ones are there, even if the natural ones are there, or the chemical ones are there, everything that you apply on your skin has some impact. So oil-based makeup, suntan oil, you have hair gels, you have sprays. Okay, then we have these, blemishes correcting fluids. We have these exfoliating substances. All these things can contribute towards the acne. So what is the solution? In that time, we should be avoiding, using these products that can make our acne worse. So what are the skincare tips? And nowadays, I don't think that I should be telling you the skincare tips, because young people are much more aware than your teachers are, I guess. And then nowadays, we all are regularly bathing, not just twice, but more than that, because we have this thing in mind that what if we contract this deadly virus or something? Not only for us, but also for your family members. So you should bathe and shower regularly using soap. Now, this is important. Reason being, if you just apply water, it will just eventually wash out the upper surface. But what about the debris that has been, the dead cells that has been accumulated on the surface? So we should be using soap. And we should not rub our skin so violently so that the dermis should be exposed. In that case also, that is not good. And we should use certain antiperspirants that can decrease the perspiration. Rather, my suggestion would be, we should be using talcum more often rather than the antiperspirants. And then all the basic tip to everything is that you must have heard this, you all must know this, and that what you eat, you become that, isn't it? So maintaining a very healthy diet, and not only that, maintaining a very healthy lifestyle also is very important. Now coming down to the clothes, there is a certain hygiene should be there in everything, whatever you're doing. But as we are here discussing about the personal hygiene, so when I'm talking about the clothes, these clothes need to be, washed thoroughly with some soap or detergent, and then they should be air dried, not air dried, but they should be exposed to the sun, because sun rays has those capacity if it can kill the bacteria or any other microorganisms if they have adhered to the surface of your clothes. Then we have just discussed them. I need not to discuss them in detail now. Let us go to the other organ of the body, that is teeth. Now, our smiles are beautiful because when our teeth are healthy, and when our gums are healthy. So, what work they do, I need not to tell you. But the most important thing that they do is they chew the food that you eat, and you are able to speak clearly. They give shape and structure to your mouth so that we look beautiful. And then, what are the different parts of the teeth? So we have enamel, the top enamel, dentin, and the pulp. So we have the top layer, then we have a middle layer, and then we have an inside of the layer. Now, what dental problems we have? So dental problems are so big that we have an entire science of a dental doctors there, isn't it? So dental problems are caused by certain types of the bacteria, and when it happens, when we eat and we do not brush properly, we do not floss out properly, if a certain amount of food or few particles are left behind in the mouth, or we have some stomach problems. In that case also, you have a bad odor in the mouth and your tongue is not clean living. So halitosis, tooth decay, plaque, tartar, and periodontal diseases. That is the diseases that we have for the dental problems. And all these problems can purely be prevented if you maintain your routine or brushing your, teeth twice a day, and then having maybe a good mouthwash and flossing. And you usually should use those toothpaste which are rich in fluoride. Second, you should use those brushes which have soft bristles. And then this should be a routine. Once you get up in the morning, you should just properly brush your teeth, and then before going off to the bed. And flossing is also good. So brushing and flossing. Also, you should replace your brush into 2 to 3 months after an illness, or in general also you should replace your brush. I think I have just discussed about the toothpaste that contain fluorides, and then I will move to the dental care tips. I have just discussed about the tips that brushing your teeth, flossing, and using your mouthwashes. But then again, as discussed in the previous slide, I have discussed that you should include those foods, because we have just seen we have 3 different layers of the teeth, and calcium is an integral part. So we should be including those foods in the diet that increase the calcium content. And also you should limit, not all the time, but you should limit the intake of the sugar. Limiting intake of the sugar is otherwise also good, because your pancreas does not have to pump insulin for a longer period of time in the blood. And then looking or going to your dentist is a very good thing if you visit them in 6 months. Then coming down to the air. So the air we have, that air is an organ which is a balancing organ in a human body in mammals. And that, I guess you all know that, because we are from the biology background. So I'm assuming that you all know that we have the outer air, we have the middle layer, and we have the inner layer. And that certain types of the substances are from the air in the form of your wax. So you should be washing our ears daily with a cloth, and don't forget behind the ears. I will tell you one incident from my school. I was in grade 8 or 9, I guess, and at those times you people are so busy in your lives, talking, chatting to your friends, looking into our adolescent life and all those things. So there was one this beautiful and a very graceful teacher I had, and she told us that आलू नहीं उगे होने चाहिए कान के पीछे. So that was quite hilarious, and at that time we thought that why she's talking like that. But gradually, when I grew up, already when you are in grade 8, you're already grown up. But then I came to this thing that we should be rubbing not only the inner surface of our ear, but the surface behind the ears. So now you have a variety of things available in the market. You have earbuds, and then I suggest we should be using the earbuds from a very good quality, because it has come to my notice, or I have read somewhere from a newspaper daily or something, that the cotton that is being used or thrown out of the hospital is being bleached and then used for the rubbing of the, they sell it in for a packet for a 10 rupees or 12 rupees. But we should be taking care of that, because this is such a part that if you lose it, you are not going to get it back. You should be taking care of that. So do not use the Q-tips in the air. It will smash the air and wax deep into the air canal, and that can just damage the eardrum also. Now we'll talk about hands. And nowadays all the organs that we have just seen, with which we can maintain the external your personal hygiene. Now this is something I don't think I need to talk about, because nowadays we all are washing hands using sanitizer and whatnot. So basically these hands are for flexibility and holding things. We have metacarpals and phalanges and carpals. I think you all know that. I'll move, not taking much time, I'll move into this is something we all know. When you say bacha bacha janta hai, isn't it? Nowadays everybody knows that you should wash your hands palm to palm, back of the hands, in between the fingers, the back of the fingers, the thumbs, and the tips of the fingers. WHO has been saying this since so many years, but now because we are stuck with this pandemic and unfortunately now we take care of these things. So how do you wash your hands? I need not to tell you that we will be, just wetting our hands and applying the liquid or soap or a clean bar, whatever. And we should rub it for, 10 to 15 seconds. And nowadays, the recommendations are there that we should be rubbing it for more than 20 seconds, isn't it? So that removes the germs, and we should rinse it well and dry your hands. Now, this is something very basic of what we are taught in every household. The Centers for the Disease Control and Prevention has laid down certain recommendations and at certain times, like before and during and after preparing the food, you should always wash your hands. Not the wash your hands only, but the food that you're preparing, if it is in the raw form, it should be washed thoroughly. Before eating, you should wash hands. I recommend personally, even after washing, eating your food, you should wash your hands. That too, not washing just with the water, but with the your soap or something. So before and after, looking after anyone who is vomiting or has had a diarrhea. Okay, and am I audible? Okay. Before and after. Okay. So before and after treating with a cut or a wound, and after going to the bathroom. So when I'm using the term bathroom, that means when you're using the toilet, you should definitely be, while coming out, wash your hands thoroughly. After blowing to the nose, coughing and sneezing, and after touching the garbage, dirty surfaces of the objects, and handling pets or pet-related items, such as their food. I don't know if you know or not. I have I just came across an article which I think is government of New Zealand, and their health department has completely laid down a proper, guidelines at how you should be handling pets at home, how their food should be treated, isn't it? So next we have nails and the cuticles. So the part of the nail that can be seen and touched is composed of the dead skin. Again, I will not go into the very detailed discussion of this. Simply that the nails should be cut because these surfaces are they provide surface with which, because you're touching everything with your hands nowadays. So we should be, these tips are very sensitive. Not only the tips of the hands, but tips of the toes also. And without proper care, they can become weak, they can ingrown, and can be infected. Now, how can nail care be done? We should be trimming our nails regularly. We should cut the toenails straight across, and then we can use filers also. Also, we should be smoothing the rough edges of the nail with a filer or emoji band. Then how to take care of the cuticle? Cuticle is nothing but a skin that grows here from the surface, from the base, from your this is being grown, nail is being grown. So you can just put that in a while in a water, and then it will make them soft, and then you can easily remove them with a cuticle remover. Same goes for the feet care that we have discussed. That also I would suggest while you're going out, even if you're wearing shoes or something, while coming back to your home nowadays especially, you should just come back. I would recommend that we should have bath, but it's not all the times possible that we move out for a while and then we come back and have bath. We should at least thoroughly wash our feet. You should change our socks daily, and you should keep them clean and dry. And there, if you must be knowing that there is a fungi growth if you keep them moist, because fungi just needs the moist environment, warm and the moist environment. So if you don't take care of the feet, this fungi will start growing. Then one topic, that is the menstrual and the genital hygiene, which is extreme importance because they are the openings and the surfaces which directly come in contact with the you may use a public toilet, you may use a toilet at the home. So We need to maintain not only the menstrual and the genital hygiene, but also the toilets that we are using, they have to be kept clean. The dustbins that we are using there, so we have to keep that clean also. And then this is something which I have just incorporated, and we all know that even when we are cutting or preparing a food, we should not be rubbing our nose, we should not sneeze over the food, or we should not lick our fingers while preparing the food. Reason being, this contamination of the food, you know, if it is being prepared in a restaurant or somewhere else in a public place, so that is being given to something, this will lead to food poisoning. Now, this also comes under hygiene, but yes, I can say the personal hygiene. Then clothes, I have already discussed that. Hanging clothes in the sun rays will kill some disease causing germs and parasites. And dirty clothes should definitely be washed with laundry soaps and before wearing them. And then sleep, this is something I just want to tell you. We all know this. And nowadays we have so many social apps, so many social platforms, blah, 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 talking about everything you should do to make your life better, and you know, how to be positive and stop the negative thoughts and all that. I just say one thing. A normal human being requires a good sleep from 8 to 10 hours. That only does not regenerate you, refresh you, but also it, you know, gives your body a proper time to detoxify. So going, you know, this is a proverb that we have been using, going early to the bed and, you know, waking up early. So in that case, what is happening, your all the organs, especially your liver, that has time to detoxify itself and it regenerates at that time. So not only it will you know, boost your immune system, but also it will give you a state of well-being mentally. You feel very happy once you have a very good night's sleep. You feel very happy, and I recommend all young chaps I have here, because you people have a habit of, you know, waking up till late in the night and getting up early just to getting up late in the morning. So if you just maintain this a very good night's sleep, a good personal hygiene, and you know, the good lifestyle and eating habits, you know, we as a nation, uh, you know, not as only as a nation, but as a globe, as a world in itself, we are going to have a very healthy future ahead. And then I have already discussed so many negative aspects of poor personal hygiene. But one thing that I have incorporated here is, you know, when you have a poor personal hygiene, you go to the workplace and the companies. So people are very, you know, appearance is very important. We have heard this proverb so many times. You know, first impression is the last impression. Though you can change it, I don't believe in this. But then very proper presentation and taking care of your health in personal hygiene is very important, as we have already discussed, for your social well-being, and this is what we call as a civic sense. Also, a person who does not you know, maintain his personal hygiene, it's a very sensitive topic to talk about. But then what will happen if you don't talk to that person, or just you're not making him aware of this? What will happen is he will be isolated from the society. Then what are certain implications we can have is athlete's foot, body lice, we can have chronic diarrhea, tooth decay, head lice. Rather, we have all seen all these things in your the previous discussion. So these are certain manifestations if you're not you know, maintaining a poor hygiene. Then how to create a personal hygiene routine? It's very simple. You have to be mindful about it. You have to be mindful about everything. And nowadays we are mindful about each and everything when we're moving out of the house. So you need to set the reminders. You need to see the signs. Okay. And practice makes a man perfect. So you need to keep on practicing it, so that, and see, we must be wondering, you must be wondering that we all know this, but how many of us do we practice? So of late, I have just seen, in this pandemic, people are not maintaining the social distance. They are even using the mask and they are touching the mask with their hands. they are not taking care of the proper sanitation. So what we need to do as young minds, as young people, we are definitely there to make a better world and a better society. So we need to practice these things, and people around us, our friends, our family, we can make them aware about these. And finally, you should make hygiene a part of your daily routine. See, what could be much better than investing time in yourself? So you're basically investing in yourself. One best example I can quote here is the gymnasiums you have. And I think after this unlock, we have this opening of the yoga salons, and I guess your gymnasiums. So you are going to gymnasium just to make your body perfect. Why not to have not only the perfect body externally, but internally also, and have a better well-being and make this world a better place for other people also. So I end my session here. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, we can just discuss them there. Over to Vamsi sir.
Yes, ma'am. So students, you can ask your question. You can't unmute yourself. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the question in the chat box. Please, students. Any questions?
Or anything they want to share or discuss, they can just prompt it in the chat box.
Yes. Students, you can use your chat box. You can chat in the chat box. I think some permissions problem, ma'am. Students unable to type.
Okay, I think that Srinivas sir can do that, I guess.
Chat box is available for students also. They can type in the chat box. Vamsi sir, please check. Maybe it is.
Oh. Okay. Yes. Yes, it is available, sir.
Yes.
Ma'am, a student from a question from one student, ma'am. How do menstrual genital hygiene is importance in regular life? Because sometimes they may be in some colleges and they can't maintain hygiene. So what are the precautions that you can say, ma'am?
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, very good. Genital hygiene is not that you go somewhere and then you should maintain. Hygiene is something that starts from the beginning in the morning. When you start your daily routine, from there, the hygiene starts. So when I'm talking about the genital hygiene, you should keep on washing your genitals as an when it is required, or you can use, we have the market is flooded with so many products right now. And also, if I'm talking about the menstrual cycles, you should keep on changing, the pads or tampons, whatever is required there. And then, whenever you're coming back from your daily routine, not only during the menstrual cycle or something, you should come back, have a good wash. Nowadays, we can say you have certain drugs in the market that are maintaining the pH of the genitals, right? So you can do that. I hope I have answered your query. Any other thing you want to hear from me?
No more. I'm getting questions. Please, one question.
So your voice is breaking.
Okay.
Yes.
Ashwan, sir.
Yes.
It's been a very grateful lecture, ma'am. Thank you very much for your wonderful speak on personal hygiene. And during this COVID time, it is very much important to educate, to get aware of this personal hygiene, not only by our students, in their families also.
Yes.
It will give great impact on the society. Definitely, this talk will go longer in everyone's lives. So thank you very much, madam, for clearing all the doubts how to maintain this personal hygiene. So we are fortunate enough to have a such great lecture from you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's my privilege to be a part of this MLT team today. Thank you so much, sir. And I hope we would contribute towards the society by this lecture and make aware people around us, not only about family members, but people who work for us or people who are there with us, the SCALP staff and all, we can make them aware of it. Thank you so much. It was a
Thank you
wonderful
very much,
session.
ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. So with these words, so can you just give a vote of thanks, Vamsi sir?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So
Thank you so much. Thank you.
yes,
You all have a
yes,
great
ma'am.
day and a great weekend and great festivals we are having this week. Thank you
Vote
so
of
much.
thanks to Vamsi sir, please.
So I would like to give my sincere regards to especially our Samiksha ma'am for giving this wonderful talk. And I was really want to tell you about this, ma'am. So you said about uh, the hygiene during pandemic situation. So people thinking while wearing their gloves, they're getting protected from themselves. But okay, but their gloves itself is contaminated, and they're using
Yes.
Actually, to my knowledge, not having gloves is the best opportunity. If their hands are bare, then they will understand the significance of sanitization. Simply by wearing
Yes,
gloves, they're
true.
thinking, okay, then yes, ma'am. So that is really correct. And you said about not only pandemic, you said about the personal hygiene as an appearance. So appearance also plays a crucial role. So it was really a wonderful talk, ma'am. We enjoyed it a lot. So I would like
Thank
to
you so
give my
much.
thanks to Samiksha ma'am, to my dear students and all faculty members of MLT. So thanks to everyone. So I'm ending this
Thank you so
session.
much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you all. Thank you for the students. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you, one and all. Vamsi sir, can you just end your session and just inform them?
Yes, sir.
Vijay sir. Vijay sir. Vijay sir, please close the session, sir. It's over, sir. Students, you can leave yourself.